Started by asking you, what is it that you want to pursue this year? What do you want to love this year? Whatever it is that we sense God calling us to love this year, to pursue this year, whatever it is, it will require us to run towards some things, to run from some things, to endure some things. But sometimes we will have to wait for the Lord to do things that only the Lord can do. When the Magi arrived in Jerusalem and they talked to King Herod, asking where the newborn king would be born, Herod calls in his scholars together to try and figure out the answer. Verse 4, when Herod had called them together, all the people's chief priests and teachers of the law, and he asked them where the Messiah was to be born. Verse 5, in Bethlehem in Judea, they replied, for this is what the prophet was written. But you, Bethlehem, the land of Judah, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah. For out of you will come a ruler who will shepherd my people Israel. What the scholars read is the prophecy of that a future ruler would emerge from Bethlehem. It's a passage from the Old Testament book of Micah, 700 years before Christ's birth. We touched on this theme of waiting and anticipation in our Advent series, so I won't belabor this point except to say this. Waiting in the Bible, it's never passive. It's never a passive activity. It's always an anticipatory work, a readying, a preparation that's mixed in with the waiting. For the people of God, waiting is never a passive sense, but as we mentioned in our Waiting for God Advent series, waiting is an active, seeking, listening, acting sense of waiting. For those that waited for God to show up in their lives or to show up in their circumstances or in their families or in their worlds, they waited when their backs were against the wall, yet they trusted in God's never-ending promises of salvation. This year we may have to spend some time waiting, and yet in the waiting, God is still with us and still working in us. During our Advent series a few weeks ago, Pastor Justin helped us reflect on what it means for us to wait on the Lord with joy. And during his sermon on that theme, he said, what God is doing in us while we wait is at least as important as what we think we are waiting for. Saints, when you find yourselves in a season of waiting, be not discouraged. Continue pursuing the things of God even in the waiting moments.